March. We did not do a February check-in for some extreme events. So Dave, tell us what happened here in February and why we're out here on March 1st.
We had a weather event the second and third weeks of February, meaning we had temperatures in single digits, wind chills in negatives, frozen precipitation, ice, sleet, snow. I would say there was probably 7 to 8 inches total around this part. And we went days with temperatures under 32, freezing, ice covered situation. And I knew the forecast, and about a day or two before it actually hit, I came, which was like the 7th or 8th of February, I came out here and I harvested a pretty good amount, hoping that I could get a good harvest. And if it did, we did lose any of this stuff because of the freezing, I'd at least have one more harvest, and then we'll deal with that in the future. So that was 2 weeks ago.
So what did you do during the slow tunnel, during the freeze?
I didn't come near it. I didn't even look at it. I never came over here. I stayed in my house. And there was simply not a whole lot to do.
Yeah, that's good. It's sometimes so tempting, right? Because you're so emotionally invested to come over and open it up and look.
I'm certain that it was ice and snow covered. There's no doubt in my mind. But since that early February visit, I have not checked inside here.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, so I don't know what to expect.
All right.
Hopefully the best.
Hopefully the best.
So we're out here now. The outside air temperature is 50 degrees. I took a test of this exposed bed, and it was 46 degrees. Last Monday, the 22nd, I came out here. It was a nice day, 41 degrees. There was ice and snow still everywhere. The outside temperature was 41. The soil in this bed was 38. The air inside the low tunnel was 41. And the soil temperature was 39. So that's the coldest reading that we've had. I'm certain that when it was in the throes of this event, that I wouldn't be surprised if the ground froze in there at like 32 degrees.
Absolutely. That is the thing about low tunnels, is that if it's really, really cold, that at some point we hit their lower threshold.
Yes, yeah. There's just not enough mass,
correct,
enough space. The 25th, which was Thursday.
Yeah, it was last week.
I came out here. This air temperature was 54 degrees. The soil in this bed was 41 degrees. The air temperature inside this low tunnel was 91 degrees.
Woo!
And I checked and I double checked. The soil temperature was 50, which means that's the number that we've been looking for to start planting another crop in here. We're going to leave the plastic up. We're going to protect this crop through the rest of the winter. It's going to be peas. They do well in cold weather anyway, so I'm not really worried about any of that. So today it is, I said it was 50 degrees. In here, the soil temperature is again 50 degrees.
All right, so we've got some stability.
Yes.
Of soil temperature.
Yeah.
And
let's see what this air temperature inside is. It feels balmy. Well, it's like 58 or 60 degrees.
All right, so we've got about a 10 degree difference from our outside air to our inside air.
Yeah.
which on a cloudy day is pretty
It
normal.
is cloudy. And
Yeah.
it's got a breeze out here today too. So in spite of heavy winds, a lot of precipitation, snow and ice that covered this thing, I have done nothing to this structure to reinforce it, to fix this or to fix that. I mean, this is the way I left it. And for the whole season, I have done nothing to reinforce. We're going to see where we are. I'm going to start planting this weekend, if not sooner. We've got good temperatures.
Yeah, you've hit the magic number. You're ready to go on your soil.
Yeah, I am. I've already got my seeds, so I don't have to worry about ordering them, and maybe they have them in stock and maybe they don't.
Good reminder of if you are planning on growing a garden this spring and definitely this summer, start going to your local garden centers now to find the seeds that you need, make your plant.
All right, here we go, folks. Oh my goodness, look at that.
Wow.
Look at that spinach.
The
It came out of
spinach
nowhere.
looks
Look at that, Stephanie. Look.
Whoa, your arugula is starting to bolt even.
Yes. That's what
That's
I was afraid
crazy.
of.
Let's see. Oh, and so here you can see, right, the tops of these carrots are the only things that have any kind of frost and freeze damage. The yellowing on there is a sign of that, but everything else is looking just survived really nicely. But you have beautiful carrots, right? So they're at kind of the end of their life cycle anyway. So this is perfect timing.
It is really, really wet. We just got,
Sure is.
I don't know how much, several inches of rain.
I had 3 inches of rain in my rain gauge a couple miles from here. Look at these
Golly,
carrots.
there's water down here.
Oh wow.
This ground is just saturated.
And this is a good another note as you're thinking about moving into spring planting, is checking your soil moisture.
Yeah.
Even though it didn't rain inside this low tunnel, there was enough rain because it's connected to the ground, right? There's just these nice cinder block barriers.
Yeah.
If we get enough outside rain, it will seep in. So being aware of your soil, and if your soil is really wet, wait a day or two to let it dry out before you do any planting. Otherwise you can have some serious soil compaction issues later
swear,
on.
I don't recall a situation. Look at, can
That's
you
so
see,
soggy.
I've never seen the soil that wet. I mean,
It's like
you
soup.
dig a hole and it fills in with water.
You can hear it. Yeah, so this definitely is too wet to plant in.
So it's going to be a while. I don't want to dig in here too much.
No, but
I'm going to take these carrots. I'm going
these are great.
to take the green top off, and I'm going to wash them up when I get home and get a weight, and we'll start working on a final
Weight calculation.
for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, March 1st.
That's March 1st, 2021, and those carrots, you planted them in
September.
September 2020.
And
That's
one of the
awesome.
first things I'm going to do when I do start planting this weekend is I'm going to plant some more carrots.
Yeah.
And do that 4 or 5 times throughout the year. And I won't have to worry about preserving these so much because I always have fresh. As soon as I run out, I have some new harvest come in.
Yeah.
Hopefully. That's the program.
That's the plan.
I've got this arugula bolting. And I mentioned it even before we started filming.
Yeah. So tell us what does it mean for a plant to bolt?
Right there, it's good. Right there are seeds or developing flower bud. And that's what bolting is. This plant is going from a vegetative state to a reproductive state. It got so hot in here, this plant says, I need to start reproducing. And instead of putting in a lot of extra leaves, and it's got good leaves, it's starting to develop reproduction. This will flower, it'll produce seeds, and that process is both.
The spinach is blowing my mind.
Yeah.
This survived beyond my wildest expectations in here.
Yeah. A little bit of romaine, spinach, arugula, more bib, a lot of spinach. Boy, I'm gonna get this out of here. Look at this baby kale.
Oh, it's so cute. So cute and happy.
Yeah. So all of this is gonna get harvested soon.
So throughout all of this, you've been mostly doing what we would consider like kind of incremental harvesting, right? Where you're pulling leaves and kind of leaving the plant.
Yes.
Is that what's going to happen this last time, or are you going to do something different?
I'm going to take all of this out. The arugula is telling me it's time for it at least.
Yeah.
And like you said, I'm going to try to let this thing air out. And I mean, this soil is saturated.
It is.
So, you know, I'm not even going to bother trying to cultivate this. And as a matter of fact, one of the things that I wanted to say is when I do harvest this, I'm just going to take scissors and I'm going to cut all of it, and I'm going to leave all of the root system in the soil.
That's a good no-till practice.
That is. Besides being really lazy. But I like the idea that
well, and
you're
that
talking
also
about a lot of root systems here.
And particularly after seeing how wet the soil was when you pulled the carrots up, if you were to continue pulling and working this soil, you're just going to mash it.
Oh my gosh.
Mash it to smithereens, and you're going to have no space for your new seeds to germinate.
It's going to be like...
So that the no-till plan is a way for you to reach in without touching your soil and do some harvesting if you're feeling really antsy because it's a beautiful day. Or
I may not.
Yeah, or you may not, and that's okay too.
There's a lot of root systems in here. And all of that's going to keep the soil loose. It's going to be, as it decomposes, it's going to provide organic matter.
Absolutely.
So that's a big harvest right here. I'm considering we had 2-degree temperatures
for several days in a row, plus 2 weeks of below freezing temperatures every day, consistently.
30 was a heat wave.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to having another harvest. I'm going to be planting these same items over here, and I'm not going to use plastic. If I get in a bad situation as far as a freeze or a frost, I just cover it with
the row cover.
That Agribond.
Yep.
So, you know, the last several months we've been trying to just store things. Now we're going to get into some serious growing mode. This is March. This may not be here in a month. I may just take this off and store it in my basement. And if I get, like I said, if I get in a pinch, I can always use Agribond.
Yeah. Are you gonna keep the hoops up at least for a little bit, just for those emergency cold nights?
Yes, I am, and the netting. I sure am.
Yeah.
And then when all of the peas are harvested, I guess whenever that is, I'll take this whole thing, I'll disassemble it.
That makes sense.
And then I'm going to rotate this from this spot.
Okay.
In September.
Okay.
And I'm going to
put it in the back
here.
Gotcha.
The year after
for next winter.
Put it here.
Awesome.
And I'm going to rotate this all the way through. I have 2 more beds just like this up in the front,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just going to keep rotating everything.
That's great.
The weather coming up looks awesome. 50s, lots of sun, low 30s,
Mm-hmm.
but this can handle that.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, and you'll be in a situation where anything that you've planted is still, right, we're never going to put tomatoes in here in March because they can't tolerate, it's still going to get cold at night. The air temperature at night in here is going to be about the same, but the soil is going to stay warm, which is really the goal.
last April, we had some freezing.
We did.
And there was hundreds of transplants scattered throughout this community garden
Mm-hmm.
that were frozen to death.
Yeah.
I mean, they were dead.
Yep.
So a winter event is not beyond question, especially here in Kentucky.
No. So April 18th is our average last frost date. Average, right? Which means that some years it's later,
Yeah.
some years it's earlier.
So
we still have a month and a half minimum
Yeah.
of nighttime freezing.
and I'm going to have this guy here on red alert in case I need it. I'll just pull it out.
Yeah.
I'll be doing this next year.
It's exciting, and I think we'll have to come in and do at least a mid-March check-in to see how things have changed, because
Yeah.
this is going to be a month of transition for you
Yeah,
out here.
yeah. You know, I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot of produce down here,
There is. You're gonna
and it's delicious.
what, teens
Yeah.
and single digits and 90
Yeah.
degrees. It's really
And there's not a lot of
Really a
insects that
trooper.
bother them.
Nope.
The arugula, as you can see, the other day it was 90 degrees and it's starting to bolt. It'll do this in the summer.
sure.
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
The kale was awesome, but I'm going to go ahead and wait until next September before I plant any more of that. I'm going to be doing it just the same as this.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm going to repeat all of this over
In
here
a new spot.
with no plastic, and I'm confident it'll do well.
Nice.
That's what we're looking at.
Cool. Well, we'll be sure to do a mid-March check-in to see how much things have changed. It'll be excited to keep following your progress.
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right.
See y'all.
See ya.